September of 2008, the Lord supernaturally delivered me of all demonic strongholds, and I began to walk in the fruit of the Spirit. And I could hear clearly from the Lord and the Holy Spirit in my mind. What was interesting to me was that some of the things that I heard from the Lord and the Holy Spirit was not what I heard in church my entire life. One thing I learned was when you're married to a person who treats you in a very controlling and emotionally abusive way and have done everything to try and help them to get their soul wounds healed and be delivered from their demons, then the Lord will confirm when it's time to separate so that you can serve the Lord without constant harassment and emotional abuse and attacks from your spouse and be able to live in peace. We cannot make an idol of an ungodly spouse, nor override their free will to choose to keep their demons and live in sin. If we stay with a spouse under the influence of demons, they will try to force us to obey them, and it could cost us our life, like it did Sapphira in Acts chapter 5, verses 1 through 11. Sometimes God will ask you, who are you going to serve? The demons in your spouse or me? God gives all of us free will to obey him or not, and you can't make your spouse get delivered if they don't want to. God hates it when a man or woman controls and abuses their spouse because that is what causes the divorce. Read all of Malachi chapter 2 as God is angry with the man who deals treacherously with the wife of his youth. He says it 3 times. Same applies to a woman who abuses her husband, which causes the divorce. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 15, abusers have abandoned their marriage, whether they physically departed or not. Also, God and the Holy Spirit will tell you that you must forgive everyone who hurt you, or you will be tormented by demons and have no peace and sickness, and that refusing to forgive can actually take you to hell. Matthew chapter 18 verses 21 through 35. God and the Holy Spirit will also tell you that salvation is the deliverance from sin and its consequences of hell, and not just inviting Jesus into your heart and then continuing to stay in your sin. Salvation is about obedience to Jesus and walking in the fruit of the Spirit, repenting for sin and making sin rare in your life, not tolerating and justifying staying in it. It's not about works. It's all about obedience to Jesus and the Bible. Matthew chapter 7, verses 21 through 23. Once saved, always saved is a doctrine from Satan to cause people to justify staying in their sin instead of obeying Jesus. Also, that forgiveness does not require reconciliation with an unrepentant, abusive person. Honoring your parents does not mean obeying them when it would cause you to sin. Matthew chapter